All stations, stand by for an incoming radio transmission.
All right. Everything is up and running. It all looks good. Good morning. Hey, I'm Bob, K6UDA, better known as
All
K6UDA.
stations,
Whoa,
stand by for an incoming radio transmission.
what is going on? Holy
All
crap.
right. Everything is up and running.
Let's
All looks good.
I need oh, that's what I forgot. I've got everything parked. All right, let's go ahead and play that. We'll cut your feed and get you going. This is why I need to get on a few minutes early, guys. Good morning. Let's see. We don't have very many. Not very many in the chat rooms today. Let's see here. There we go. Man. Good morning. Hey, by myself today. And today, we're going to be talking about pirates at the door. I had a different topic kind of picked out, but I wanted to wait till Jeff got back. Jeff is on the road today. Terry is also on the road today, so I'm here by myself. So it's just you and I. I think I've got a fairly good topic here. Fairly timely. Kind of a real, this is really the more shit hits the fan. Shadow Bear is in the house. Good morning. Let's see. RAR watching from afar. Nice. Good to have you on there. And hopefully I am streaming live to the Idaho Preparedness channel on YouTube and not on the K6UDA channel on YouTube. Yeah, that was last week, and I was kind of like surprised at the large crowd. But it was more radio. It was a lot more radio concentric. So I guess it fit. All right. You'll notice I don't have the big headphones in. I've got these monitors in. These were from my old motorcycle days, or actually my racing days. And got that hooked up into the mixing board, into the Rodecaster there. So trying these out, they are fairly comfortable. Let's see. Good morning. Ham radio frequencies is in the house. Don't know what's happening over there on X. Let's pull up X.
Don't know what's happening over there on
and we'll kill the audio over there on X. And I'll bring up the chat over there. Don't have anybody on over there yet. And hey, we might not have anybody on there at all. Who knows? Let's see. What do we have? Actually, yeah, people are starting to wander in here for the 9 o'clock start to the net. Hey, remember, guys, I love doing this. I could actually, I could pick up the microphone for the FTM 400 and I could do the net on that. But hey, I'm going to do it with the mic because I love this thing and it goes directly to the YSF side of this. So if you have if you have any kind of a digital radio, you could go to YSF. If you don't have a digital radio and you want to participate in this, and you have, say, an old analog radio, go on All Star and look up KB7 DFP, Kilo Bravo 7 Delta Foxtrot Papa. I still have, after all these years of being ham, I still have a problem with converting cop phonetics into the military phonetics. All those years as a cop. Let's see. Looks like we've got a few folks over there on the Wires X side, on the Straight Wires X. Like I said, you can absolutely do that. Hey, like, subscribe. Still trying to hit 50,000 over there on the on the YouTube, on the K6UDA side. You could watch me on Rumble and X. We're doing this channel over here, YouTube Idaho Preparedness Channel, and we do the net here on Saturday mornings. I'm going to try to get some of these scripts posted back up on the website there, so you could download the information and you can have that information. Let's see. Seeing that, and we can get rid of all that. We can get rid of all that now. We'll pull up. Let's just pull up the topics real quick here. We'll get rid of that. Today, like I said, hey, Pirates at the Door, in case you saw the thumbnail. We're going to talk about giving aid to your neighbors who might come asking for food or supplies after the balloon goes up. Passive and physical defenses against raiders and those who would mean you harm or want to take all your stuff. Comms. We'll touch on comms, since we're probably, most of us are pretty well established in that. And then I've got a thing. Hey, if you want to know how the bad guys operate, you need to think like a bad guy, and we will do that today. Let's see. Let me go over to. Oh, we got 5-6 minutes. Go over to the net view over here, and yeah. Let me raise this one up a little bit so you guys could see what's going on. So over on the left-hand side of your screen is the YouTube chat. Over on the right side of your screen is the Rumble chat. So y'all got that. And in the middle of the screen is my open spot, which is the YSF server, and that's going to show us all the traffic, all the call signs coming in and doing this. Man, how is everybody today? If you're around, because I'm by myself, nobody's really keeping score. But if you want to check in the chat and just say hi, we got ham radio frequencies. Sierra Slim is in the house. Sean Gary is in the house from Minnesota. Let's see. Who else? KK7 RDO in the house. Wolf 82 is also in there. Chazwich in the house. Good morning and welcome if you're a first timer here on the on this live stream. Here's what's going to happen. In about 4 minutes, I'm going to start the actual net. I'm going to start the radio portion of the net. That is if you've never been part of a ham radio net, you'll get to kind of see it here, and you get to see how a net runs. Why do we do this whole thing? We do this as practice. This is a training exercise, guys. This is not built out to be some high value live stream or show just for the sake of being a live stream or a show. This has a purpose, and the purpose is training. Right now, we're going to talk about news stories or things that are happening around the country. If people from those areas, want to contribute. If none of that happens, or after that happens, we're done with the ham radio portion. I close that portion of the net, and then it's over here on Rumble and on and on YouTube. Oh yeah, also on X. So if you'd rather watch it on X, you can absolutely do that. Fire Guys in the house from the old country. Welcome, my friends. Good to see y'all, and good to see so many thumbs up so far. We've got 4 of them, 4 thumbs up. We got 9 people in the YouTube house. So go jump over there. And while you're at it, why don't you jump on X at the front and go to @GraymanSurvival. Punch me up, hit subscribe, and maybe check in over there. That'd be really, really cool. I'd love to have some check-ins from there. And yeah, love to get some more thumbs up there and over there on the Rumble side. Looks like we got about 1 minute, and we're going to go ahead and start up the radio portion of the net. So, yeah, good morning, everybody. That is freaking awesome. Let's see. Anybody else want to check in on the chat there while we're waiting? I'll give a couple of quick shout outs. Hey, I really want to thank everybody. And over here on the Rumble side, I'm giving away radios. Sign up on my locals over at Rumble, on the Rumble channel. And I've got a stack of radios that I am just waiting to give away. But I'm going to give them away to the people that support me. I will support you. It is like for like, just like what we're going to be talking about today. And here we go. All right. Welcome to the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net. I am Bob, K6UDA, your net control this morning. This net meets every Saturday morning at 0900 hours Mountain Time on the K6UDA repeater located deep within the Southern Idaho Command in Twin Falls, Idaho. This is a digital radio net accessible via Wires X Room 40448 and YSF Reflector 40448, both called the Idaho Command. It's also available on the Hanson Butte 2-meter fusion repeater, 145.170, and local and frankly, any hams with analog radios can participate using the KB7 DFP repeater, 442.000, or on what is it? All Star at the KB7 DFP repeater. Let it drop. The purpose of this net is the free exchange of information related to emergency preparedness, commonly known as prepping. We encourage deep dives into subjects related to food, water, shelter, personal protection, weapons, survival tactics, medical issue, communication gear, and techniques. I'm always looking for subject matter experts to lead discussions on these various subjects. If you have material you'd like to present or discuss, when you check in, please indicate that you have a subject. Although not primarily political, discussion of relevant political, cultural, or religious events are welcome in the context of situational awareness and survival. As part of my personal preparedness plan, practicing for the gathering and dissemination of important news and information to my friends, family, and my local community is what this whole net is all about. So, as training, we do the sit rep or situation reports every week. While times are good, like right now, I'm using general news stories that I find interesting. I ask everyone here to contribute their own stories or sit reps, especially if they are in or near an affected area of an actual emergency. I'm going to let it drop. In order to give everyone an opportunity to be heard, I'm going to do check-ins and comments in the following order. Whoop. Oh, hang on here. What did I just do? I have to do this. We're going to do local repeater check-ins, Wires X check-ins, YSF, and then we'll do some live stream stuff if we have time. And then you're encouraged to check in with your first name, call sign, location, and how you're getting into the net, i.e. the local repeater, Wires X or YSF. That being said, do we have any local repeater check-ins?
Bravo 7 Delta Foxtrot Alpha KB7 DFP was called no traffic.
All right, Ken, KB7 DFP, welcome to the net. Thanks for the use of your repeater for the net. And do you have any traffic?
No traffic today. No traffic.
All right, good enough. And looking for check-ins, local check-ins first for the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net. This is K6UDA. Looks like everybody's gone this week. All right, let's open it up. Wires X check-ins. Wires X. Let's have those check in. All right, YSF check-ins. YSF, come now.
November 7th, Romeo Bravo Pop in Medford. Good morning. No traffic.
All right, Bob, N7RBP from Medford. Welcome to the net. Thanks for stopping by and checking it out. Looking for check-ins, any mode, anywhere. Come now for the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net.
KE8WSH Bill in Michigan, no traffic. Idaho on the 14517 Hamilton, no traffic.
All right. We got K8WSH in Michigan, and I copied no traffic. Got Lance here, KB7SQS, on the local repeater. Again, no traffic from Lance. Looking for check-ins for the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net. Come now. Okay, light bunch of check-ins today. Thank you guys for checking in. Those that have, I see a couple of other nodes up on Wires X. You guys could check in after we do sit reps. And I am going to run over to another screen here, and we'll get into our sit rep section right now. Okay, first up, and this is coming from Ground News. I do a lot of my research and my news over on Ground. U.S. deploys a second aircraft carrier from the Caribbean to the Middle East amid the Iran tensions. And I'm not going to read that one so much. We'll just go back. I'm just going to read some headlines here. TSA agents are working without pay at U.S. airports due to another shutdown. I didn't even know we had another shutdown going on. And Minneapolis left to decide the future of street-side memorials to two people killed by federal officers. Both of the last two are very heavily leaning toward the left or the left side of the audience on Ground. Looks at those articles more. I find them kind of interesting. Let's see. That is hundreds of FBI and federal agents are searching for Nancy Guthrie as her case spotlights other families left behind. I don't know why that story has taken over the news cycle. I kind of have a feeling that the powers that be would love for that to take over the news cycle, so people aren't talking about what's in the released Epstein files implicating the rich and famous, or not focusing on tensions in Iran and the Middle East war, possible war in World War III. I don't know. But let me open it up. Does anybody else have any sit reps for the group? All right. Does anybody have any last minute check-ins for the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net? Okay. All right. Hearing no other traffic, I'm going to go ahead and end the radio portion of the net. I want to thank all the participating stations and nodes for tuning in this morning. And we're going to do it again next week. We will continue the discussion over on our live streams. The live streams are on Rumble and on YouTube and Grayman Survival. Just type in the Idaho Preparedness channel, and that'll take you right over there. Anyway, 7-3 all, and we'll talk to you later. K6UDA. Okay. Well, guys, that seems to be
Kilo Foxtrot Zero Oscar Hotel uniforms. Sean of Minnesota. Check in. Sorry I missed that. I got distracted by my playing with Meshtastic.
all right. Good morning, Sean. Good to hear you there. And any news from your side of the world?
Well, I'm sure the news is still developing. We got one media journalist guy that decided to go into a church, pled not guilty for his attack on the church. And then we had ICE is doing a drawdown in our state. And so the left is claiming a victory on that side of the house. But other than that, nothing major for news here.
All right, Sean. Hey, thanks for the sit rep and thanks for checking in. And then again, if anybody is on the radio and watching the live stream at the same time, and you have a question or you have a comment, or you want to correct me on something, go ahead and jump on the radio. That's probably the quickest way. This is K6UDA. All right. And let's see. I don't have a 2-shot. I thought Keith was going to join us from the Christian Warrior training, but I guess he's busy. So I am soloing this all by myself today. Today, we're talking about raiders and pirates at your door. Let's start off with neighbors. Neighbors who aren't exactly allies. Or they're not exactly allies yet. The balloon goes up. You're a couple of days in. Let's say you're a week in to some kind of a shit hits the fan situation. Before this happens, you want to be prepared. You want to lay a foundation. You want to focus on proactive steps to minimize conflicts, build resilience in yourself, your family, your community. Maintain operational security, OPSEC. You want to keep your preparations discreet. You want to avoid discussing stockpiles, gardens, or skills with casual acquaintances, as this can paint a target on your home. You want to share those things with only a vetted inner circle. That reduces the likelihood of desperate knocks on your door. Build trust. Build trusted networks early. This is what this whole net is all about, is building trusted networks. I'm hoping that people who have been watching this live stream or watching this net for the last 2 years, what I'm hoping is, and I'm gonna move Rumble over here so we could see that. What I'm hoping is you guys are building your communities. Whether you're here, if you're here in the Magic Valley, great. Those are let's kill that and bring that one over here again. If you're here in the Magic Valley, we are putting together our community. The guys that are listening are my community here. You guys are the backbone, and we're gonna figure it out. But anyway, you want to form alliances with reliable neighbors. There are neighbors around here that are unreliable. I've determined that they're unreliable already. So, too bad, so sad for those guys. Let's see. You want to maybe form a neighborhood watch group or get involved in a neighborhood watch group. Identify those with complementary skills, medical knowledge, mechanical expertise. Create a mutual aid system where everyone in your group, in your neighborhood group, is participating. And it turns potential beggars into partners. That's going to be a big thing. You want to set expectations right up front. You want to have non-alarmist conversations with close contacts about self-reliance, kind of what you would expect out of yourself, what you would expect out of them as a partner. It's not just a one-way street where, hey, we're going to come over to your house and camp out. It's, hey, we're going to come over to your house and camp out because you have the most defendable space, and we're bringing our food. I'm bringing my skill set, this particular skill set, and whatever. And we're gonna get together and protect each other, protect the stores, all that good stuff. Clearly state that your supplies are for your household first. You want to foster a culture of reciprocity rather than entitlement. During shit hits the fan, handle direct requests. When neighbors approach for aid, stay calm, assess any possible threats right away, and prioritize your family's safety. The goal is de-escalation while protecting your resources. You can adopt the gray man strategy. You could blend into the environment and avoid drawing attention. In your home, if you're bugging in, use dim lighting. Very, you don't want to have the lights on if you've got power and other people don't. You want to use window coverings. You want to wear nondescript clothing. Don't dress like a battle bro because you attract attention. Just normal, everyday gray man stuff, especially if you've got to leave the house. You want to minimize visible activity or smells. You don't want cooking smoke unless you've got the entire neighborhood there and everybody's there for some kind of a morale boosting cookout. I guess at that point, but the smell is going to go for miles. When everybody's hungry, just think how far food smoke travels. You want to firmly but politely decline or redirect your people who come to your door, come to your property, asking for a handout. Avoid gray areas. A direct no that's going to prevent escalation. You can offer barter or conditional trades. Shift from a handout to an exchange. what do you have? Yes, I have this Nebo light, or, I have this food in this thing, but what can you offer me in exchange? Because, hey, frankly, I'm down to nothing also, just like everybody else. So it's like, what can you bring to the table? Can you do labor in exchange for food? Chopping wood, planting a garden, doing harvest. That is number one. That's going to weed out the people who are just trying to freeload. Those are the same kind of people who, right now, get out of a decent car on a street corner, walk over to the corner with a sign in dirty clothes that says, homeless, please help. God bless. Those people don't. Those people aren't there to work. When they say we'll do anything for food, if you offer them a job, they don't want it because they're already making enough money or more money begging. And it works right now. If you do decide to help in that, you want to put them on that task right away. You don't want to give them an MRE and say tomorrow show up here. It is like right now. Hey, I'll give you an MRE or a can of food, but I need you to do this for me right now. Let's see. Long-term considerations. Well, hang on. Let's get in here. And does anybody have Scott Pawlowski? My neighbors are helpless asshole liberals. Okay, well, maybe you know what? Maybe when they get hungry, maybe they'll get motivated, or maybe not. And if they don't, then they don't deserve. They don't deserve your help. Absolutely. Anybody else have any comments so far about the whole? Let's just say about the whole bartering. When somebody comes, when they come to your door. And while I've asked that question, because it takes a minute for some of these chats to jump in, long-term considerations in a prolonged scenario. Balance compassion with pragmatism to avoid depletion of your resources or violence. You want to prepare your defense without escalation. You want to stock non-lethal options, pepper spray, or impact weapons, a stick, a hammer, a whatever. But you want to have lethal means ready if the threats turn aggressive, whether it's a neighbor or not. Prioritize evasion and alliances over confrontation, especially as in the first parts of a collapse. Sean is on X. Beautiful. I see the X on there. That is awesome, dude. Thank you. Sean Gary over on X. I encourage that too. Let's see, how many do we have? Looks like we've got 11 watching on between YouTube and X. And let's jump over here. We got 23 people over on Rumble. Very, very nice. Let's see. I don't know how I feel about about non-lethal weapons. I guess non-lethal weapons at the onset of an SHTF event are a lot more appropriate, let's say, than as this thing goes on. I would say anything over 2 weeks. If it goes on for 2 weeks, now you've absolutely got anybody that's scoping out your property, walking up the street. If you live in a suburb, if they're casing the place, are they looking for easy targets? But we'll get back to that in a couple of minutes. But yeah, in the onset of any balloon going up, or a short-term balloon, let's just say you've got like North Carolina right now. I guess they've got some issues, and I really don't even know what the underlying issues are because I haven't heard very much about it. But they've got like 1,400 cell phone towers that are down. So the cell communications and internet are very, very spotty over there in North Carolina right now. Is that a widespread event? Well, I guess if you're in the heart of North Carolina, that might be a fairly widespread event, but it's, in the grand scheme of things, it's very regional. And it's very localized. It's not like a complete breakdown of everything. It's not like you've got Minnesota. Let's say if Minnesota pops off like they've been popping off the protesters, and all of a sudden they're shooting at feds, and they're shooting at people that they perceive to be of the other side, and the communications all go down, and people can't move around the city, and you've got the other side fighting back, and that is more of a prolonged, or can be more of a prolonged situation. And I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, to be honest. My inclination is, at least here, if my neighbors come to the door, that's one thing, because I know everybody around here is prepared. That's something that I absolutely love about where I live, is my friends and neighbors. They don't even call it prepping. It's just life. And everybody's got a little bit of food. Everybody's got a little bit of ammo. Everybody's growing a garden, got some animals, all that good stuff. So we're in a good position right here. You want to scale you want to scale your aid based on the scenario. In short disruptions like the power outage, you want to share minimally, not like handing out buckets of food, but build goodwill. If you know that this is going to be a 3-day thing, a 2 or 3, maybe let's plan on a week. You want to build goodwill. That goodwill toward your neighbors, and especially if you've got the means to know that outside your either immediate area or outside your particular state or region, everything is normal. And it doesn't look like it's going to complete collapse. Right now it's a short disruption, a power outage, an earthquake, something like that. That goodwill builds allies. Now, it also tells those folks that you've given the goodwill to during that short one that, hey, this guy has food and has resources, and they'll be back if shit hits the fan for real. For a full shit hits the fan event, you want to wait 1 or 2 weeks. You want to gauge the desperation, and then you want to aid only what you would consider a vetted group. You want to donate some of your excess to something like the local churches or an indirect distribution, or you want to do something to take the burden off of you as a source of resources, and put that back on some kind of an institution like a church or a senior center or something that you could direct people. Hey, you know what? I don't have anything. I'm so sorry, my friend. I don't have anything to give you. We're starving here, but I hear the church up the street, I hear they've got supplies and they're giving out supplies. And and honestly, give those supplies anonymously, say to the church. All right. Preparation and prevention. Before any threats materialize, you want to focus on building resilience to avoid confrontation altogether. Stockpile your essentials and create caches. You want to gather your food, water, medical supplies, and ammo in hidden locations, buried in sealed containers or in false walls. You want to sustain yourself without visible stockpiles that would attract raiders. Include decoy caches with low value items to satisfy an opportunistic looter. You know what? A few cans of tuna and Chef Boyardee raviolis on the shelf, that if somebody broke in the middle of the night and for whatever reason they were successfully breaking in, they're not going to get everything, and they might think that now they've cleaned you out and move on to the next place. You want to assemble an emergency kit and a safe room. You want to prepare a 3 to 5 day kit in a ground floor safe room stocked with weapons, food, water, and a fire escape ladder. For some of us on a ground floor, this is, like next to impossible unless you have some kind of a fortified, built up safe room. I mean, great prep, if you can afford it, if you can do it, is to build yourself that safe room. But practically speaking, especially if you don't own the property you're on, doing it without, say, a sealed off portion of a basement or something is that's, it ain't gonna happen. It just ain't. I would love to build a safe room here. I just can't afford to build a safe room here. Reduce your profile. Minimize signals like chimney smoke. Use dry wood and exhaust fans. Avoid things like generator noise if you're running a generator, to give yourself power for part of the day to power up fridges, maybe power your water pump. Visible crops, depending upon where you're at. If you're in an urban or a suburban area, a little neighborhood gardens kind of stick out, and they become, if people are hungry, they will become targets. If you're in a rural area, everybody's growing crops, and that is normal. You want to fortify your entry points. You want to replace doors with steel reinforced doors, cover windows with plexiglass or bars, and use heavy duty locks. It makes breaching time consuming and noisy. Now, on the flip side of that, steel reinforced doors aren't necessarily a standout, but putting bars over your windows. If you're in a place like Oakland, California, let's say, everybody's got bars on their windows. It doesn't stand out. If I put bars on my windows here, I would stand out like a sore thumb. Nobody does that. So you've got to blend in to that. You got to blend into your surroundings. Deterrence and obscurity. You want to make yourself appear as a low value target. Let your property look run down with debris, overgrown weeds, and no lights or activity. Again, at night, light discipline is going to be key. You know, if you've got, even if you have power, I would, number one, unscrew my light bulbs throughout the house. I would run around with little, camping lanterns. A camping lantern won't attract nearly the attention that a room light would, unless you have a room that is completely sealed off to the outside that you could turn the light on and operate like that. I would avoid turning on the lights. You want to avoid signaling your wealth through trash. You don't want canned food wrappers or visible preps like solar panels, camouflaging solar panels. I don't know how you're going to do that if you're going to keep your solar panels working. It's very hard. Psychological warnings. Post signs like trespassers will be shot. Display deterrents like maybe fake cameras or noisemakers, bells on strings. Even if you can't hear them from the inside, once the balloon goes up, you're gonna have to be on guard duty if you're bugging in, if you're at your bug out location. Animals like large guard dogs, even small dogs that'll bark, they are great burglar alarms, and they will bark and do their job and potentially scare people off who are attempting to do crimes of opportunity. Let me take a break from this for a second. Let's see what we've got. It looks like we've got 13 people. Hey, guys, if you haven't said good morning on the chat, please say good morning and leave a thumbs up. That would be freaking awesome. I'm going to go over here. We got 21 people over on Rumble. Looks like we have less on where's my count on I don't have a count over there. And let's see, I've got 7 people looking over on X. Guys, please have a thumbs up on any one of those channels that you're watching this on. It really does help. We need it. I want to get the word out. I'm not trying to make this some huge thing. I don't want the bad guys to get our intel and our methods. But I want to get the word out mainly about the communication and building networks, allies, and communities. Physical versus passive defenses. You want to layer barriers to slow or injure intruders. You want to create time for you to respond. Building perimeters with choke points, barbed wire fences, nail boards, tripwires, thorny plants are a really, really good one. People aren't going to hack their way through. They're not going to hack their way through brambleberries and blackberries. They're going to go around and they're going to try to find other avenues to access your property. Let's see. Soundproof. Oh, let's see. Yeah, over on Rumble, we got a couple in here. Good morning, Pam. Pam's in the house, and Garrett's in the house. My adopted son, my illegitimate love child, Garrett, in the house. And Shadow Bear says he's been listening while doing chores. Have I mentioned soundproofing generators? Like what you can buy or copy from the zombie box. I don't know. I'm not familiar with the zombie box, but it sounds very interesting. Maybe you could post some of that into the chat and or post it on the Discord. We do have a Southern Idaho Command Discord, and I don't have the link. You can always email me or ask in the chat. Okay, back to it here. Install surveillance and alarms. If you don't have the Ring type cameras, and I know that's it's kind of a sore subject. It's a double-edged sword. Ring cameras, blink cameras, because as much as they give you when you're home and away, right now, the ability to check a camera online almost instantaneously, those companies, they keep that information and they can access that information, and they could give that information to the government if the government decides to go tyranny. If you could, and I don't know a cost-effective way to build a system that you control the whole thing and that you can check something, you've got a camera that goes off and you can check it from your phone if you're away from your control center. Because I know a lot of businesses, they have their own dedicated surveillance cameras. And in the back room, they've got a computer and a monitor, and they could go in and access the information or access the videos. But if you're not near that, you don't know that something's going off in real time. So it's a balancing game, and that's something that I really need to research that. Shadow Bear says Ring got extra sketchy with their Super Bowl ad showing their capabilities of using AI to identify and locate lost dogs. Yeah, 100%. These companies, as things progress, as they get better at doing their job, you never know what they're going to use that stuff for if when shit hits the fan. KI7SDA, good morning, Central Utah. Used to live in the Magic Valley. Good morning. Good to see you. Let me just put this in the... I'm going to put this from the Shadow Bear in the chat, or on the screen here. And there we go. I'm going to add you to the broadcast. There it is. If you want to look into soundproofing your generators, that could be a good way to do it. The Ring stuff. I have Ring cameras. I've had them for years. I kind of bought into that ecosystem, and right now it works for me. If I could find something that I could afford, that I control everything. I've got network, a NAS here. And as long as I have internet, I can access the NAS over the internet on my phone. I don't know how that would work with a surveillance setup, but who knows? Excuse me. Whew. All right. Using light sensor, motion sensing lights is a good one. Trail cameras, trip wires with noisemakers, e.g. Shotgun shell blanks. That is, now be careful and know your local laws. It doesn't work in every jurisdiction, but you might be able to get away with that. Tripwires with shotgun blanks. I'll tell you what, somebody hits that and that blank goes off, that alerts the entire neighborhood that something just happened, especially when things get very, very quiet. Driveway sensors for early detection. If you've got a long driveway and you don't want people driving up that driveway. Drones. You can use drones to scout for approaching groups. If you know of things happening and you've got a drone, you can use the drone. Hey, you put it up high enough that it's not going to get shot down very easily as long as it's moving. Very, very hard. Even if you are an excellent shot with a rifle, very, very hard to pick out at 200 or 300 feet above and however many feet away a moving target that's, that small. Non-lethal repellents, scatter irritants like homemade pepper spray, smoke pots, or motion-activated sprinklers to disorient groups without gunfire. Pair that with personal protective gear for the folks on your own side. Interior barricades, you want to block doors and windows with furniture or props, leaving one quick exit path clear. You want to use sandbags for cover against projectiles if fighting indoors. That's probably a good idea. Once the balloon goes up, maybe to make a sandbag bunker somewhere in the house that you can get behind. If you end up, if you end up in an inside kind of a thing, or if you've got bad guys that are shooting into your house, maybe you duck behind your sandbag bunker, because at that point, we're not trying to keep the house looking like a house. It's now your fortress, and you've got to make it into a fortress. Community and alliances. Solo defense. I've always said the guys who want to lone wolf it, they're not going to last. Your strength lies in numbers. You've got to have, if you've got a piece of property, you have to have people that are going to guard that property 24 hours, 7 days a week. The best team is family or people that you trust implicitly with your life. And then it moves down from there. You want to form mutual aid groups. You want to vet and ally with neighbors or trusted contacts for shared watches, skills, medical stuff, engineering. Establish checkpoints with armed patrols and radios for alerts. Barter and de-escalate if you can. Offer small trades, surplus veggies, potential threats or intel for good, for goodwill. Reducing hostility. Pre-build shit hits the fan relationships through community events and ensure loyalty. That is 100% what I'm trying to do with this whole net. And I'm trying to get you guys to do it in your communities. I'm trying to do it here in my communities. Now we move into active defense. Reserve lethal force for breaches, train extensively, and prioritize overwhelming response to deter repeats. Just because somebody fumbles the ball at the front door doesn't mean they're not coming back. Or if you have that neighbor who just won't take no for an answer and they keep hounding you and you tell them no, and you finally go, get off my property. No. What are the chances of them going back to their little tribe saying, hey, let's go take over this house? They will come back if you don't handle them right the first time. And you can't know 100% of the time if you're handling it right. But there's always the chance that they're going to come back. And you want them, if they're going to come back, you want them to know that it probably isn't going to end very well for them. You want to use layered firepower. You want your use of firearms with a lot of ammo. You want it focusing on choke points. You want overlapping fields of fire if you've got other people that can do that, which means, let's say you're in front of that, you're in front of your house or you're in the house. If you've got one person with a rifle or a pistol and you've got one person on a shotgun, you can make overlapping fields of fire. You can focus that down on a choke point and neutralize anything that is in that choke point. You'll stop them. You want to allow silent takedowns of leaders. You want to break morale if you can. I've always thought one of the more demoralizing things. Ow! I've got an itch back here. One of the more demoralizing things, I can't think of anything more demoralizing than to have your leader put an arrow through that would be insane. Can I get a thumbs up for a crossbow? That would just be so freaking cool. Or the other thing, if you have a good vantage point and you've got long range weapons, and you've got people that have, say, parked their pickup truck at the entrance to your gate or the road in, and you want to you want to show them that, hey, this is not the place to be. If you've got a 50 BMG, to put a round through that vehicle, that is seriously demoralizing. That tells everybody in that group, these people do not want to be screwed with, and we probably want to go find an easier target, because you, at that point, when it comes from nowhere, they don't know where it is, they don't know what they're up against, and any movement toward that target is a complete unknown to them. Scorched earth. If overrun, you want to destroy immovable supplies, e.g., poison the water, burn structures before fleeing to denied raiders of gains. I guess that is one way to look at it. I don't necessarily subscribe to that unless everyone, last man kind of a thing. If you're the last man and you can go scorched earth, I guess so. Sierra Slim, I have driveway sensors surrounding my house. It'll alert me if someone crosses it and tells me where they are. Also, small light motion detectors that light up when somebody walks near and alerts. Yep. 100%. That goes along with like the Ring cameras, the Blink cameras. I used to have other ones. They were called Wii cameras years ago. I still have the cameras, and that's kind of a more DIY kind of a thing, but it doesn't have the lights. It doesn't have some of the stuff that the Ring cameras do have. Evasion and escape. Sometimes it's better to not have a fight. If you can see overwhelming forces approaching your position, and they are well armed, well trained, and you have and it's okay. I'm gonna get wiped out here. Maybe it's time to run. Maybe it's have mobility plans. Still, even if you're bugged in, have your bug out bag ready. So maybe you could take a few things and bug out if you need to. You want to evacuate to any other defensible spot, like deeper into rural areas. If captured, seer. Seer comes to mind. Try to escape using distractions, improvised weapons. I don't see captured as unless of course maybe you are a young attractive woman, you might be captured at that point, and you might be I wouldn't say so much held hostage as I would say like some of the Indian tribes back in the 18th century would do. They would take and still today they take female captives and breed them. That's their next breeding tool, and use them as slave labor. Comms is essential, guys. Even if you are not actively out there, we have at our disposal all kinds of radios. I've got radios here, and if you are part of a community network. At that point, when the balloon goes up, you guys should be in comms range. You should have some kind of comms, whether you're on Meshtastic type of stuff, whether you're on ham radio, GMRS. I say use them all if you can. How do you gauge if this is a close in regional thing or if this is bigger? HF radio. I would listen to things like 40 meters, 20 meters. Find out if there's no other reliable news sources. Let's just say, for instance, all the news and information that we're used to seeing now gets taken over by a government that doesn't want us to see that news and information. And they want to put out flowery little things, or in our case, Nancy Guthrie stories. And they don't want us to see what's really going on behind the curtain. Well, if bad stuff is going on, you've got HF, 40, 20 meters. 40 meters is great for 300 to 500 miles out and close in at night. UHF, VHF, ham radio, GMRS, great tools for things like if there's still power, repeaters might still be on the air. You can get out a little bit further on repeaters. You could climb up mountaintops, or you can use those as very short in and get intel. The other thing you can do with those same radios is dial around and look for signs of other people talking. You don't even have to talk. You're just listening. You go into that intel mode. And if people are talking about something going on in the next town over or in a large city several miles on the other side of town, knowledge is king. Intel is queen. So now to understand, and let's just see, does anybody else have anything so far in the chat? Okay, look at that. Got 21 people over on the YouTube side, it looks like, and 25 over on Rumble, and a few over on, if you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please hit the subscribe button, the bell notification on YouTube. That'll tell you when I'm posting stuff on the YouTube side. There's also a notification side on the Rumble side. And please, thumbs up for this. I mean, we want to get the word out to everybody that is of like mind. Let's see. We've got 11 thumbs up on Rumble. Can we get that boosted up a little bit? And please, looks like 6 thumbs up on the YouTube side. Can we get everybody just? It's free. Come on, man. I'm giving you my Saturday morning. Please give me a thumbs up. That's all I ask. That's all I ask is a thumbs up. Okay. In order to understand what is going to happen from the other side, hypothetically, now, I am a raiding party. I am the pirate. First off, this is hypothetical. This is make-believe. I'm not planning to be the bad guy. In reality, raiding implies theft or violence. It's illegal. It's unethical. I don't condone it, but I understand it. And in cop work, you have to be able to think like a criminal in order to thwart criminal activity. Let's see. So the first thing you want to understand, generally, effective raiding teams are going to be 3 to 5 people. They want maximum mobility. They want low noise. Now, this is unless, hey, and I've read the same books that some of you guys have read about, like in Patriots, where you had these armies of bad guys coming through, 20, 30, 40, heavily armed, fairly well-trained raiders coming through and just raping and pillaging neighborhoods at will. Those are the things that you want to be listening for in your comms, because those guys are going to be obviously using radios and they can't just hit everything at once. Nobody, not even the army, can hit an entire city at once unless they're just going to blow it up and take over things and take over all the supplies and everything. You're going to have assigned roles. You want to have a scout. You want to have somebody who is unarmed, or they have a very light load or concealed only weapons, and they might just be walking down the street looking for signs of houses that look promising. You got to have security, 1 or 2 armed overwatch people covering the exits. Once you pick your place, you want the front and the rear exit. Generally, we call it like the 1-4 corner and the 2-3 corner. If you think of a building as 4 sides, usually you have a door in the front, a door in the back. You want to be able to cover as much of that as you can. You want 1 or 2 people as your looters, as your people that are grabbing prioritized items. And then maybe you're going to have a medic or a driver for extraction. Remember, large groups attract a lot of attention in any neighborhood that they go into, and they complicate coordination. Raiding times are going to be generally at dusk or dawn. You want less visibility. You want people asleep or hunkered down. You want to avoid nights. It's hard to spot threats to you as a pirate. And you want to avoid midday stuff because people are out and active and doing things, and they're on guard duty a lot more. That's why you want to have 24-hour guard duty, night vision if you can afford it or if you can get it, to be able to spot those things. Their gear essentials. They're going to need silent entry tools, crowbars, lock picks, and comms. They want hand signals or low-tech radios, probably blister pack radios on FRS channels. So you want to be monitoring those frequencies, because generally those people are less prepared than us. They want empty or durable bags to haul off stuff, to haul off their loot. I know when I was a cop, burglars used to break in, and the first thing that they would go for are pillowcases. They would take your pillowcases and fill up your stuff into your pillowcase and out the door. And they want to do it quickly and efficiently if they can. So they're looking for first aid kits, water purification tools, personal defense, pistols, or suppressed firearms. They want to travel light. They want to be able to move fast, load up, and exfil. They are generally risk averse if they can be, and I'm talking about your average bad guy. Your average bad guy doesn't want to be bit by dogs. They don't want to be confronted by firearms. They don't want to be shot out of the blue. So you have to, as a bad guy, assume that every home that you go to has some kind of traps, dogs, armed holdouts. You never want to split up. You don't want to tackle the inside of a house by yourself. So know that if you're defending the house, you want to have some kind of an abort signal, whether it's whistles or clicks or something. So those guys are going to have they're going to have a way to exfil in case they meet overwhelming resistance. And one fairly well-trained person can provide overwhelming resistance. Yeah, Miko Wolf. Good afternoon. A-team style, 4 to 6 people. Yeah, that would work. That's like one more than I have kind of done here. Primitive weapons too. Yeah. Bows and arrows, axes, baseball bats with nails driven through them, like the what do they call those things back in the medieval days? The little spike things. Bad guys could carry those. They want to focus on high value portable items that can sustain them long term. They want canned goods, dry stapled stuff, rice, pasta. They want bottled water. They want things with long shelf lives if they could get it. Medical. They want antibiotics, painkillers, bandages, hygienic stuff. Or hygiene stuff, soap and water, TP, what are they called? Tampons for their women, firearms, ammo, multi-tools, duct tape, batteries, everything that they could stuff in the bags. Gas, maps, lighters, intel that they find in your place if you've got written out plans. Maybe when the balloon goes up, maybe those written plans need to get burned fairly quickly. So if you have maps and stuff that are written down for the long term, maps to caches, maybe it's time to get rid of that stuff. So bad guys, if they get in, there's no possible way to find those, and you would have to have that have those stores in your mind. Their pre-raid intel is usually 1 to 2 days before. They're going to have to map out their area of operations. So we're not talking about they're going to map out the entire city at once. They're mapping out a couple of homes. They want fewer people, so they would rather have suburban and rural homes over urban people because there's more there's fewer people, less hard targets. They want soft targets. If they can get into vacation homes, if they could get into elderly neighborhoods or assisted living facilities. They want to avoid things like McMansions that will most likely be more fortified, or apartment buildings where you're going to have a lot of ambush alleys and you've got a lot of people. They will probably scout remotely. They're going to use binos and drones from afar to check for smoke, lights, dogs, vehicles. They'll do drive-bys in a nondescript vehicle. They will cross-reference with pre-shit hits the fan knowledge via whatever apps or their memory. And they're going to check for signs of occupancy, laundry, fresh tracks, whatever, when they're doing it, when they're doing their thing. Approach and entry, stealth insertion. They want they're going to park 200 to 300 meters out. They're going to approach on foot over fences through the woods. They're not going to walk up the road generally. They want to scout perimeter for tripwires or cameras. They want to breach quietly, backdoor, windows, over doors where they can, or over small porches, things where they could bust a window, get in, open the front door or a back door, and get the other guy in. They're going to have security outside, and they're going to and then they're going to have generally somebody overwatching in case they get ambushed from the outside. And remember, they're also looking for other pirates who are not on their team that are waiting for them to come out with the loot, so then they can set them up and take their newfound loot. So if I was a bad guy, that's also something that I'm looking for. Now, here's something that they probably wouldn't do, but they want to divide. You want one to loot the kitchen, one for the bathroom, for the meds. You want to security rotates. You want grab and go priority. You don't want to try to take out a safe, and you don't want to, unless you know you've got all the time in the world. You're not going to sit there and try to bust a gun safe open. They're looking for quick and dirty stuff. If you're smart, you're not going to be greedy. You want to set a timer. You don't want to overstay your thing. If you say, hey, we've got 10 to 15 minutes max on this target, that's, you're going to have a guy with a stopwatch, and in 10 minutes, he's going to say, wrap it up. In 14 minutes, it's going to be time. In 15 minutes, it is exfil, exfil, exfil. Let's see. Potential pitfalls, encounters, human threats. The most danger is from other raiders or holdouts. Counter, you want noise discipline. You want to fake friendly calls to flush them out. Zombies and plagues, that's in your favor. You want to assume biohazard, gloves, masks, avoid bodies. That's if you've got some kind of a plague or pandemic going on. So look for them to be thinking along those lines. Legal implications of self-defense in a SHTF scenario. This is very, very interesting. Before any shit hits the fan, all the rules of law in your state, in your local jurisdictions count. During shit hits the fan, the laws of self-defense still apply to you, even in riots, disasters, or breakdowns. The laws of self-defense still apply. The Constitution still ultimately applies. The core requirements for justified uses of force is an imminent threat, must be immediate and personal. You've got, it can't be general unrest like looting nearby. You can't go out hunting for it. But say 1994 LA riots, Korean rooftop guys, they were protecting their stores. And when people would approach their store, they would shoot them. And I'm not aware of any of them that got prosecuted because three can keep a secret if two are dead. Mika Wolf says, unless somebody in a group of lockport kicker or locksmith, then they're going to be a problem. I don't understand that one. A decoy house you would go walk through to get to your safe place. Decoy house will have tripwires, pitfalls, a lot of nasty stuff to kill the enemy. That would be great if you could do that. Most people can't. I don't know your situation, your particular situation. Ah, man. Portionality. You must match the force to the threat. Yeah, it says pepper spray for a fist fight. You can't, if somebody is obviously unarmed and they come at you with fists, you can't just shoot them under normal law. Now, in a wild case of complete social breakdown, it has now been a month, 2 or 3 months of something that is just devastating toward the entire country, and there is no more rule of law. Now those rules don't apply. You're not going to call 911 immediately after the incident because 911 doesn't work anymore. You want to record. Yeah, if you could record things and keep notes, because, maybe a year, 2 years, 5 years down the road, life will get back to some kind of a normal. And there might be a new rule of law that pops up. I don't know. It's so hard to say. You got to look at what your state is doing, especially for the small or regional events. State variations. Most states have some sort of a castle doctrine. So if you're in your house, you're kind of protected if you use force. Other states like California and New York, they have more of a, hey, you got to get out if they come in. It's kind of a duty to retreat. And as long as police are working and the prosecutors are working and the courts are working, you'll have to deal with those kinds of repercussions after the event. Castle doctrines, like here in Idaho, we have a very strong castle doctrine. Somebody comes into your house, you didn't invite them in, they are assumed to be an intruder, and you're good to go. Stand your ground. No duty to retreat. In emergencies, stand your ground still holds, But a duty to retreat states that you are expected to flee if viable. So just remember, in an emergency, it doesn't give you carte blanche to go out to downtown and wreak havoc on people that you deem to be a threat. It doesn't. Shit hits the fan does not give you civil immunity. No lawsuits if justified. It exists in 23 stand your ground states, but not everywhere. You could face lawsuits in Hawaii or New Jersey, even if you're criminally cleared. Special contexts, riots and unrest. Civilians can face stricter rules than police. You have no crowd control authority. Using force on rioters without a personal threat can likely give you assault charges. During martial law and emergencies, federal declarations, i.e. the Insurrection Act, doesn't void self-defense, but it may limit movement or arms. Local curfews could criminalize being armed in public. In a total collapse, if no enforcement or de facto law exists, survival actions could haunt you later. And that is more of a moral question. Are you, unless you have used extreme force in the past and you understand all the implications of it and you are good with it because you were right in using it. And I'll tell you what, from firsthand experience, I can tell you, you don't forget that stuff. You never forget that stuff. It haunts you in the middle of the night. Can you live with yourself after you've done that? Will you be forgiven by your Lord once you are at the pearly gates? When order returns, restoration brings retroactive accountability. There's no amnesty for it was the end times. Prosecutors will review laws under peacetime standards, focusing on your mindset at the time. This is why, if you have to do that, you really want to document that, even if there is nobody to report it to at the time. Your potential risks are manslaughter or murder charges. Brandishing alone in some states can be a felony, even if it's, 6 months or a year later. Civil suits could arise out of this. The evidence burden without body cam or a 911 call, it's your word versus their word. And that's, again, my thinking is, we used to have a saying, finish your floppies. And if you know, you know. Federal overlaid. In declared emergencies, actions might trigger ATF ICE scrutiny, even if arms are used cross state lines. But self-defense still holds if it's proportional. And mitigation tricks, USCCA courses, Christian warrior training. Man, that guy gives some great training courses on YouTube. And he's a friend of mine. So, but he don't pay me to say anything. If charged, presumptions in many states shift the proof to the prosecutors. Remember, you are innocent until proven guilty under our practice of law and justice in this country. Now, under martial law, I don't know. I don't think we've never had a national martial law declared in this country, and I don't know how it would look. That's all I got, guys. That's it. Did I thoroughly confuse everybody, or are we good? You guys tell me. Let's see. Be familiar with scouting patrol routes. Yeah. And don't forget to cross train. KK7RDO. You want to expound on your cross training theory at all? That'd be good. We'll stick around for a minute or two. And other than that, man, that's what I got today. And I know you guys hate hearing me just talk. And that's why I love to have somebody else sit in second chair so we could talk about things. Miko Wolf says the major cities and small cities are going to be a shit show. Most of those are Democrats. Think about that it's happening right now. Yeah. Call 80% voted for Trump. If shit hits the fan, it happens to go pretty much. Tell me where your is going. Dude, you can't have AI type, and you can't type faster than you could think. Trust me, I've learned that. Don't talk faster than you can think, because you say stupid stuff. KI7SDA says, good info. Thank you. Well, thank you guys. Thanks for everybody for being part of this. 32 people right now on Rumble. Let's see, what do we got on? Oh my God. Why did that have to? And 32 people right now. And we'll kill that. We got 18 people over on X that are watching. And 22 people on YouTube. I've only got 7 thumbs up on YouTube. What's up with that? Can I get a thumbs up? A free? Come on, man. I spend hours and hours and hours putting this stuff together for you guys. I just want a thumbs up. Please. Please, please, please. And on Rumble, let's go back over to Rumble. And how many thumbs up? I've got 11 out of 33 people. Come on, guys. Just a quick little hit it. Boom. Thumbs up at the bottom of that window. Yes, learning more skills makes you more valuable. Scott Pelwalski, there you go. Thank you. Thank you, Scott. YouTube, I am showing 1. Why am I only showing 1 thumbs up there? That sucks. Yeah, okay, there's one more. And let's see. Learning more skills makes you more valuable. Yep. Guys, just remember this. The more that you are a subject matter expert in anything, the more valuable you become on in any group. I would say I am, I'm a firearms instructor. I am pretty good with firearms and tactics. I've got 28 years as a cop. Makes me pretty valuable as a security guy in any group. I am probably more valuable, though, as a comms guy because I got the comms game down as well as I have the comms game down. And as I age, I don't need to be as physically fit or physically able to do stuff tactically as I can be with the radio stuff. So, things to think about as you go along, and train with everything. This is training right here. What we're doing, getting on the radio is training. Doing what we're doing, and shooting, farming, it's all training. And the more you know, the more you can help your neighbors, help your friends, and help yourself. I've got nothing else. I want to thank everybody for being part of this. Thank you for joining. And we will catch you next week. I'm Bob, and this has been the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net. 7-3, guys.